Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2021 Educators Ag Institute. Today we'll be talking about Discover Dairy. I'm Cassidy. I'll be your host. First, we want to go over a little bit of housekeeping. In the chat box, there is the pretest. Please go ahead and take that if you have not already. During this session, we cannot see or hear you. So if you have to say anything, please type it in the chat box. Just make sure it says to all panelists and attendees so that everyone can see everything. If you have any questions, there's also a Q&A box. Go ahead and type your question in there and we can get to it at the appropriate time. And just be respectful because everything is visible to everyone. So at this time, I am going to hand it over to Brittany.
Wonderful. Thank you, Cassidy. I really appreciate it. And thank you everyone for joining today. I am coming to you live. I'm normally in Pennsylvania, but I'm actually in Iowa today. We just presented at the National Ag in the Classroom Conference. So I apologize for the kind of icky lighting and iffy Wi-Fi here, but we're working on the hotel Wi-Fi. So I'm excited to be coming to you guys today to talk about Discover Dairy, the Adopt a Cow program, and some things that we can offer for you that's extra bonus activities through the Adopt a Cow program and Discover Dairy. So we are going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to share my screen. And first of all, I'd love to know just where everyone's joining us. So if you don't mind, going ahead and using that chat feature and letting me know what state you're from or what county you're from. What state if you're outside of PA, or what county you're from if you're in PA. I'd love to see who's joining us. I'm from Berks County, Pennsylvania, personally. I grew up on a dairy farm there. And otherwise, right now I'm in Iowa, but it looks like we've got a lot of Pennsylvania folks joining us today. Somerset, Blair, Franklin, Berks, hello. Awesome, got some Adams County, and let's see. Powdersburg, PA. I don't know, I bet I know where that is. I know Danville and Lehigh. Interesting. Philadelphia, Mifflin, awesome. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I'm excited. Please feel free to use that chat feature as Cassidy said, and feel free to use the little raise your hand or the clapping or anything like that if you like something. I'd love to be able to interact with you guys. So yeah, definitely use that chat feature. Awesome. Montgomery County, Butler, Fayette. Welcome everyone. Looks like we pretty much covered the whole board of Pennsylvania. So I'm excited to have you all with us today. All right, I'm going to share my screen and we are going to go ahead and get started here. So, and bear with me, I am working on one screen and I'm used to having like 3 monitors. So if something doesn't look right, just shoot a message and say, hey, you're sharing the wrong thing. All right, so hopefully you are able to see the presentation. I'm going
good.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right. So we're going to talk about Discover Dairy today. But first, I just wanted to, again, introduce myself. So I am Brittany Snyder, and I work for the Dairy Excellence Foundation in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And just a little bit about me. I kind of grew up in the dairy industry, growing up on a dairy farm. And I was really interactive and with the dairy promotion program, Dairy Princess program. So there's me at 4 years old when I was a little Miss Dairy Princess when I was for Berks County. I had the honor of being on the state team. And then as I moved through life, I kind of consider myself a professional princess now, just no crown and sash. But I just really enjoy promoting that dairy industry. So with me in that third picture there is my niece, Lily. I don't have any kids of my own, but she is my pride and joy. And she's actually our current Berks County Little Dairy Miss. And she just steals the show from everyone. It's absolutely adorable. And I'm just so proud of her and what she's doing for the Berks County dairy industry. And then that last picture is me and my husband. We were just married about 2 years ago in Mexico. And of course, my little flower girl, Lily. She is, like I said, my heart and soul. So that's just a little bit about me. And we're going to go ahead and get started talking about our programs today. So Dairy Excellence Foundation, that's who I work for. And we strive to empower the next generation of the Pennsylvania dairy industry. So everything we do is for the future of the dairy industry. We have anything from elementary to college level courses and activities. Yesterday, if you joined in, you probably heard from Michelle that she talked about our high school curriculum, potentially some college things as well with our dairy leaders of tomorrow. But today we're focusing on elementary leveled materials that can also actually overlap into middle school as well. So maybe you're sitting there thinking, okay, dairy, great, but why should I teach dairy? So dairy in Pennsylvania is really important. And across the country, $628 billion is generated in the U.S. In the U.S. economy each year. Sorry, I apologize. Supporting more than 3 million jobs, and that's in the U.S. And in Pennsylvania, the numbers are just as significant, which we're going to test your knowledge on that in a little bit. Honestly, how many of you are from a dairy background? I'd love to know. Is anyone from a dairy background? Go ahead and throw it in the chat feature if you are. Or you can say, nope, brand new here. But I'd love to know who we're talking to here, because the reality is, even though some of you may be from dairy backgrounds, most people are 3 to 4 generations removed from the farm, which is why it's so important to include dairy in the classroom. Yeah, no dairy background. Oh, my mom was a dairy farmer. Yes. Awesome. Let's see. I'm married into dairy farming. Ooh, that's fun. I'm sure that's a fun dynamic, right? That's what my husband did. And he always says, man, you guys, that's a whole different lifestyle. Put myself through college milking cows. Awesome, Norma. What an awesome experience. Let's see. All right, no dairy. Yeah, absolutely. My parents both grew up on dairy farms. Great. So we've got a little bit of mixture of everybody. So some of you may have experience, some of you don't. But great industry to be focusing on. It really impacts a lot of our economy and our community, not only in the U.S., but here right in Pennsylvania and right down to your county and communities. And of course, dairy is really easy to incorporate in your lessons, especially since dairy is all about STEM. I mean, everything that you do in dairy is directly connected to science and technology, engineering, and math. And I mean, you have engineers who had to create the ear tags that can track the rumination and steps of a cow. And you've got someone who develops the robots that can milk the cows. You know, there's so many different aspects. Creating a ration that can make sure that the correct nutrition is in it. So you have a nutritionist who has to do that math and science to make that all work. It's just incredible what's all included in the dairy industry. So it's really easy to include in your curriculum while teaching dairy and just using, basic science, math, engineering, that sort of thing. And of course, who doesn't love cows, right? Cows are absolutely adorable and they're fun to learn about, and it catches kids' attention. So let's see if I can get this to move forward here. Okay, so what we're going to do quick is we are going to play a Kahoot game to see what your knowledge is on Kahoot. So I welcome you to please go to kahoot.it or open your Kahoot app. I'm going to switch my screen that you can see the Kahoot game, so you can put the code in and enter your first name, and then we'll get going. It's 10 questions. There's a few questions on Pennsylvania dairy specifically, and then there's a couple of fun dairy trivia questions. And this is just to get us thinking about dairy and why dairy is so important to our economy and community. So Kahoot.it, thank you for putting that in the chat. And I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and play. So get ready to join. That pin is popping up here soon. So Kahoot.it or open that Kahoot app. So it's 332-7809. Go ahead and enter that pin and then enter your name into Kahoot.it or on the Kahoot app. So we're just going to see what dairy knowledge we know, what we don't know, just really learn how important it really is to our community and economy, and then learn a couple of fun facts about dairy. All right, let's see here. All right, I'll give it just a couple more seconds here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started in 10, 9, hurry, get it in, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And start. Okay. Hopefully you were able to get in. If not, you can still enjoy the fun of what everyone is learning today. You can still test yourself. So the questions and options should come up on your phone as well. Select the color that matches the right answer. What is PA's leading economic industry? Forestry, mining, manufacturing, or agriculture? Let's see. Forestry, manufacturing, mining, or agriculture. And if you haven't played Kahoot before, awesome. Agriculture is the correct answer. If you haven't played Kahoot before, it goes based on who is the quickest and the most correct. So you want to try to be as fast as you can. All right. What is PA's leading agriculture industry? Is it beef, hog production, poultry, or fluid milk production? So agriculture is the #1 industry in Pennsylvania, but now what agriculture sector is the leading industry? Is it beef, hog production, poultry, or fluid milk production? Very nice. Yes, it is fluid milk production. Very good. Let's see what our leaderboard looks like. Ooh, Melissa's creeping to the top. Okay, question 3. How many dairy farms are in PA? 4210, 4900, 5430, 3450. Those numbers are a little tricky. Some numbers, newer numbers have been released recently if you follow anything on Facebook or anything like that. Let's see. Yes, very nice. 5,430 dairy farms in PA. So it's an updated number. We did lose quite a few farms throughout 2019, 2020 because of everything that was going on with the dairy market, but we still are going strong. So awesome. LZ is moving to the top. Question number 4. How many dairy cows are in PA? So cows. A little over 4 million, 4,800, 4,800, or 482,000. How many dairy cows are in PA? Ooh. How many cows are in PA? All right. Yeah, looks like we got about half of you right. 482,000 cows. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see. Ooh, LZ is on a streak. Lynn is moving up. So is Ginny, Morgan, and Paula. All right. Question number 5. How much milk is produced in Pennsylvania on Pennsylvania dairy farms? 10.3 million, 1.3 billion, 10.3 billion, 1.3 million. These are all in pounds. How many pounds do you think are produced in Pennsylvania a year? Yes, 10.3 billion pounds of milk a year. It's an insane amount of milk, which kind of explains why it's the #1 industry, agriculture industry, right? Oh, Cassidy's creeping up. All right. Milk produced in PA generates how much in economic revenue? So this is where our economic impact is. Is it 12.6 million, 12.6 billion, 1.6 million, or 1.6 billion? What is our economic impact? Very nice. Yeah, we've got a good chunk to you guys. $12.6 billion. It is a lot of money that is generated in our Pennsylvania economy. It's pretty impressive. Ooh, Nolo and Morgan are sliding up there. All right, question 7. So now we're going into some trivia a little bit. So other than milk, the dairy industry produces a lot of jobs, but just how many in PA? 7,000, 52,000, 70,000, 5,200. How many do you think there are? And about half of you. Very nice. Yes, 52,000 jobs are a product of the Pennsylvania dairy industry. Now, if you go across the country and you include kind of like on-farm and off-farm jobs, it's actually 3 million jobs in the US are somehow connected to the dairy industry. It's pretty impressive. Big industry to get involved in. All right, some trivia here. A dairy cow has 4 stomachs. True or false? Dairy cow has 4 stomachs. True or false? Aha. So I apologize. This was a trick question. Do they have 4 stomachs? No, they have 4 compartments in one stomach. So that's a little bit tricky, but people like to often think, oh, they have 4 stomachs. They actually have 1 stomach, but 4 different compartments: the rumen, the abomasum, the omasum, and the reticulum. Nice. That was a tricky one. All right. Ginny is on fire, it says. All right, here we go. How much manure does a cow excrete in one day? 20 to 40 pounds, 80 to 100 pounds, 40 to 60 pounds, or 60 to 80 pounds? It's a lot of manure. Yes, 60 to 80 pounds of manure. So think about it. They eat about 100 pounds of feed a day, and they drink about a bathtub full of water, which is between 40 and 50 gallons of water. So when they produce close to 60, 70 pounds a day of milk, the rest of it's got to go somewhere. So it's a lot of manure that comes out of one cow. Awesome. All right, Cassidy, you're holding strong up there. All right, last question. What is cud? A cow's first milking, a cow's earwax, a cow's regurgitated food, a cow's stomach juices. Maybe you've never heard this before. Oh, lots of you have. Awesome. A cow's regurgitated food. Yes, very nice. All right, let's see what our podium looks like. 3rd place, Melissa, congratulations. 2nd place, SJ, congratulations. And 1st place, dun, 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 Cassidy. Congratulations to our 3 winners. And it looks like our runners-up are Stacy and Morgan. So thank you so much, you guys, for playing with me today. And hopefully, if you didn't know any of those, maybe you learned something new about the dairy industry. If you did know those and you were one of our winners, nice job. You are off to a great start. Now, we talked about all of those fun facts and things about the dairy industry, and kind of highlighted why the dairy industry is so important to talk about. We're going to talk about a program that helps you teach those details and information. But the cool thing is you don't have to know these details to teach dairy. These lessons I'm going to share with you will help walk you through the dairy information, and you don't have to be a pro. It will teach you while you teach your students. So it's pretty awesome how the program Discover Dairy works. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here again to get started. And feel free, if you have any questions, again, use that chat feature if you have anything. I am just looking here to make sure that I'm not missing anything on the chat. Awesome. Okay. So we are going to keep moving. So we're going to talk about Discover Dairy, where we inspire our minds to learn and discover dairy. So what is Discover Dairy? Discover Dairy is an educational series that meets Common Core standards in math, reading, and science. And it's for 3rd through 8th grade students. So, obviously we're talking about elementary school here, and we're kind of missing that K through 2nd grade. We are working on that K through 2nd grade level of content, and we're hoping to have it launched sometime during the school year this coming year. We have a teacher working on it right now who's working on that K through 2nd grade level, as well as adding a technology course. So we're really excited about all of those new things, but we will end up focusing on K through 8th grade and providing materials that uses dairy concepts while teaching the Common Core standards of math, reading, and science. So the really neat thing is you don't have to make time for an extra lesson. You can replace these lessons in your rotation of things to teach because you're covering those, you're checking off those boxes that you need to teach in the classroom by doing long division, by practicing fractions, by learning about social studies and community and economic impacts. So it's pretty cool how Discover Dairy works. And of course, the best part about it, it's online and it's completely free. All right, quickly, just to share with you who uses Discover Dairy. Discover Dairy actually has kind of taken off in the last year, thanks to COVID. We actually have over 72,000 teachers in 45 different countries now using Discover Dairy, impacting more than 1.7 million students. It's been an awesome growth year, and I look forward to, if you haven't already joined Discover Dairy and the fun that Discover Dairy can offer, I welcome you to do it. And then you can join our one of 72,000 teachers and leaders across the world. All right, so we're going to explore the Discover Dairy curriculum. We're just going to kind of go through this quickly because it's on, everything is online, and the website is pretty easy to navigate. I'm going to go ahead and play a short video for you. And hopefully you should be able to hear my sound. Let me know if you, let me just make sure, I think I can, okay, yeah, my sound is sharing. So this is a short video about Discover Dairy and a few testimonies from some teachers that use Discover Dairy. So go ahead and enjoy this.
Discover Dairy is a chance for every classroom to learn about how milk is made, how cows are taken care of, what types of things we do to protect the water and the soil. Because so many people can't get to a farm, it's too far away, it's so far removed.
We're actually going to learn milk quality and safety from the farm all the way to your house. There's a lot of components to each lesson. There's a video that goes along in the beginning that's right on the website. All the lesson plans are right on the website. It's extremely easy to access everything you need to complete the program.
It was like, wow, it's something that our kids here in the city don't see, and having that one little resource opened up so many avenues for us.
This is definitely more than just learning about milk and cows. It touches on all of the subjects. We use math, social studies, science.
The Discover Dairy program totally correlates with our core standards. There's a writing component that is very important for our state testing. They get to add and subtract and multiply, so math is even incorporated. In one of the lessons, they have to calculate the weight of a cow to the weight that the student is.
With the lessons that we use in Discover Dairy, we can have this hands-on program that can engage the students more and still provide the core standards that we need to touch on when we're teaching.
What is pasteurization? What do you think that one is? I teach because I love to see that moment when the student's light bulb goes on.
I learned the word pasteurized, and I learned how many times they milk a cow and how much time it takes to milk a cow.
I didn't know like they had to test it so many times.
I think that they're the most important animal because they're the one who give us milk.
As a teacher, you try to find anything that is going to help or benefit your classroom.
It was not hard at all for our administration to be sold on this program. When they realized all the aspects and how it correlates with our Common Core standards, they were right on board.
All right, so that's a little bit of a preview of what Discover Dairy is, and now we'll go ahead and dive into the website. So the important part of this is discoverdairy.com. That is the website you'll want. Go ahead and write that down, or just take note to that. This is where all of your information will be found. Again, we are completely online and everything is free. So discoverdairy.com is where you'll find everything. To access everything on the website, you do need to create an account, which again is free. So you'll just click register now, and then it'll take you to the registration page and fill out your information. It'll ask you to create a username and password. And then once you've created your username and password, you'll just come back to that home page, click login, enter your login information, click login, and it'll take you back to that home page. So without creating an account, when you go to click on the lessons themselves, it'll say, sorry, please log in. So you just make sure you create that registration and create that account. And once you have that account and have that login information, then all those lessons will become accessible to you. So just briefly, we're gonna just show what one lesson kind of looks like. So we're gonna go ahead and click on the elementary school courses, which again are the 3rd through 5th grade as of right now. We're gonna click on Making Cows Smile. So when you click on a lesson, you'll see everything you need from top to bottom to make this lesson happen in your classroom. That your learning objectives, all of your materials that you need, the worksheets for you, the worksheets for the students, It's cut off on the screen here, but you can see the educational standards. Just select your grade, 3rd, 4th, or 5th. When you click on it, they drop down and you can see all of them. The complete lesson, which is at the top, and we'll click on that here next. There's a video with each course. So it's about 3 to 5 minutes. They're great introductory videos to teach the students and give them an overall overview of what's going to happen in that lesson. And then, of course, our virtual learning pieces, which are kind of the newer pieces we've added this year. We have Quizlet sets. We have Making Cows Smile ebook. We have ebooks for each course. We also have Kahoot games, and we are working on adding quizzes sets as well. So we're going to go ahead and click on that lesson. When you click on the lesson, this is just a preview of what the lesson would look like. Again, objectives, time frame, materials needed, lesson components, all those motivator questions that you would need to start up your lesson, get their students engaged, the video that you would want to include, and links to that specific video. Then it goes through a couple pages in between these two. It goes through your lesson of how to walk through the activities, how to teach it. It describes everything to you. So again, you don't have to be a pro at dairy. This teaches you everything while you teach the students. And then for review and end of the course items, you've got the guided reading information. So we have a guided reading pamphlet you can either print and hand out to each student, which is just 2 papers total, 8 half pages. You can staple it together and have them read it, or it's an ebook. We also have different evaluation options with worksheets, and with a quiz as well, or you can do the review questions or the writing assignment. So there's a couple of different ways that you could wrap up the lesson and utilize different teaching techniques, whether it's online game, whether it's a quiz, whether it's a writing assignment. So really great all-inclusive lesson. Here's just an example of what some of the worksheets look like. So at Keeping Cows Healthy would be your overhead or your whiteboard activity for Making Cows Smile for 3rd through 5th grade. You make the connection of, what do cows eat versus what do humans eat? And you talk about the comparisons between cows and humans. And then that worksheet 1.3 is just an example of what a worksheet would look like. And you can see here, you're recording and tracking each individual cow's health. And so they're going to be using math, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction to figure out all of the information and pretty much be a farmer for a couple of minutes and entering the cow information and figuring out all of the data, what's the amount of feed that they would need for 50 cows or 77 cows, how much water would they drink if they were managing the farm, that sort of thing. So it's a really great opportunity to learn about dairy, but still cover those basic Common Core standards. Okay, and as I had said, there are those virtual learning opportunities. So just for example, on Making Cows Smile, you've got those Quizlet sets, about 10 flashcards that are included. For those middle school courses, you'll see about 15 to 20 flashcards for those sets. We do have those ebooks that you can read through. You can send the link to your students and they can read that on their own. It's a great way to review what you've taught them, plus a great way for you to learn about it. You've got the Kahoot games. This is the Making Cows Smile Kahoot game. Very similar to kind of what we played earlier to start our session today. And then of course our videos that I had talked about, those 3 to 5 minute videos, just really great overall overview videos. Those videos can be found on our website or they can be found on our YouTube channel, which is at the Dairy Excellence Foundation YouTube channel. And that YouTube channel actually has a bunch of other videos, old virtual tours, other videos we've saved from that are good dairy resources, plus all of our lesson videos. So I highly encourage you to check out our Dairy Excellence Foundation YouTube channel for more fun videos in dairy. So just to recap, discoverdairy.com, free platform online for you to access anytime. You download the materials whenever you need them. Use bits and pieces as it works for your classroom. You don't have to do the whole lesson. If you want to just do an activity in one lesson, go for it. Do what works for you. We do provide the full lessons, all the answer keys, all the worksheets, lab materials, and of course, those supplementary materials like the Quizlets, ebooks, Kahoots, and review games. All right, any questions on any of that at this point? I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. I think we're good, but please feel free to go ahead and throw them in the Q&A or in the chat feature if you have anything. All right, so I'm going to jump into the next thing, which is a little bit more that goes with the Discover Dairy curriculum. So that's some enrichment pieces that we offer on our website as well. So if you click Classroom Enrichment when you're on our website, you'll see a couple other things that you can have access to. We will have listed all of the upcoming tours that the different checkoff programs offer. So we partner with DMI, or National Dairy Managers Inc., and all of the local checkoff programs across the country. And whenever they have an upcoming tour, they will send it to us and we will add it to our website. So you'll be able to click through here and see any of the upcoming farm tours anywhere across the country, virtual farm tours. And most of the time, they're all welcoming to whoever wants to join. So if you know you would like to do a farm tour in June or farm tour in April, you can see who has farm tours happening and maybe you could hop in one. So that would be listed on upcoming tours, and then all past tours by the level of the age group would be under those tabs. And then of course, the educational video resource, more videos for you to share in your classroom. We have a great book list if you're looking to add to your library list. You know, there are good books. There are some books out there that are, you know, something like Click Clack Moo, which it's a cute book, but does it really cover dairy concepts? Not really. So these are a list of books that we encourage you to have in your library if you're going to be talking about dairy in the classroom. They just teach a good lesson. And this is actually an older picture. There's some newer ones that have been listed now. We just provide a link that leads you to Amazon or Scholastic Books or something like that to buy the book. We don't have the books personally, but that way you have a link to directly buy them. And then we also have some fun downloadable items that can either be posters or printables for you and your students that can also accompany the lessons. Okay, the fun part. So what we're going to wrap up here with the one more program that goes with Discover Dairy, which is the Adopt a Cow program. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video first to give you an overview of what the Adopt a Cow program can do for you, and then we'll talk about the details about Adopt a Cow.
Go on the farm tour today, so come on and follow me.
Okay, so as I said at the very end, the Adopt a Cow program will launch starting August 1st, and registration will close September 15th. So that video gave you a brief overview of what the Adopt a Cow program is, but let's go into a few more details. So the Adopt a Cow program is pretty unique. It works with our Discover Dairy program. It's part of Discover Dairy, but it is a completely different opportunity, and it really brings the dairy industry to life in your classroom. And we have testimony after testimony, teacher after teacher, student after student, just saying how much they love this program. And it really just brings the dairy alive in your classroom. So what happens during Adopt a Cow? You sign up, and after signing up, we work on assigning you to a specific class or to a specific calf. We work with between 30 to 40 farms across the country, and we try to at least have one farm in each state. For some states that it's harder to get a farm, if they only have 10 farms or so, we might not have one for that state. But we work with about one farm per state and about 3 to 4 calves per farm. We would then adopt those calves out a number of times to provide at least you with a calf that's from your state. So you would be adopting a calf that's similar to another class somewhere else in that state, but you can still create and make this experience very personalized for your classroom, even though you're sharing the calf with somebody else. So it is a completely free program. So you get to adopt this calf for free. This calf becomes your own. And just like that picture down the bottom there, that was one of our calves in the past. And then that adoption letter that you get saying that your class has adopted that calf. So you get photos of the farm, of the calf, of the farm family. And this comes in updates every other month starting in October. And it comes in PowerPoint form, so you can share the PowerPoint pictures and information with your students. You would get that official adoption certificate, and of course, those mini lessons that come with it. So you can make this really simple and just share the pictures and have fun with it in a mini break for 5 minutes and say, here's an update on our cow. Or you can really dive into this and make Adopt a Cow something that you do, twice a month, 3 times a month, and you spend some time learning about the cow and about dairy and tie it in with the Discover Dairy lessons. So those mini lessons do follow Common Core standards, just like Discover Dairy, and it brings on new activities, things like makerspace ideas and creating a pen and developing a pen for your adopted calf using makerspace items with the knowledge they learned while they were learning their update and getting their update on their calf. So it's pretty hands-on and really does bring that calf alive into your classroom. And of course, the best part of the whole thing is you get to live chat your adopted calf at the end in April, May time. We go live on YouTube with each farm once, and you hop on to your live chat. Oops, make sure you can still hear me. Apologize. I apologize. My earbud won't stay in my ear. Okay. So you'll get to hop on to YouTube and watch that live tour and get to chat with your farmer. The live chat feature will be enabled, and you'll be able to ask the questions live as the farmer answers live. So it's a lot of fun. All of the past recordings are on our website. So if you'd like to watch any past virtual tours that we've done in the past 2 years, go ahead and watch them to get an idea of what you can expect. But we will do new ones every year that are live. So with the Adopt a Cow program, I just wanted to take a couple minutes here to highlight just truly how submersive the Adopt a Cow program can be in your classroom. As we discussed, dairy is really important to cover in your class. And I understand, I hear you when you say my schedule is just too full, especially during COVID. I feel like I felt from a lot of teachers that I got to work with, it was just impossible to add one more thing. But I challenge you to find a way to include dairy just because of how important it is to our Pennsylvania economy and community. And you can do that through Discover Dairy, Adopt a Cow, but then all of these bonus activities that we actually share with you through Adopt a Cow. So when you sign up for Adopt a Cow, not only do you adopt your calf, follow that journey throughout the year, you also get to receive some pretty cool Sunday Funday emails that we send out twice a month that shares just unique activities that you can choose to do or not do in your classroom. But I know those classes that took time to do those extra activities just really became completely submersed in this opportunity and absolutely loved the program. So first, we do have a way that you can contact your farmer. We have a Contact Your Farmer platform that you can send e-letters to the farmer, and it goes right to their inbox. They can check out all the letters. You can attach a picture to that e-letter, or you can handwrite letters to the farmer and practice your handwriting skills with your students. So that's one activity you can do. And then we'll go through some other ones here. So we will share any and all resources that we can get our hands on that talk about dairy. And these are going to be resources that are offered from all sorts of organizations across the country. These aren't ours specifically, but we want to make sure we're providing you any opportunity you can to create that well-rounded opportunity in the classroom. So one thing that we would share is this great Farm Escape. It's the pretty cool interactive game that challenges students to understand healthy eating habits and physical activity through dairy knowledge. So that's something we would share with you, and links for that. We've shared Muga, which is Moo Yoga. We had a couple of classes say the students would beg to do this before every test to kind of, calm themselves down before a test. So we loved some of the testimonies that came with Muga. So we would send you the materials for that. We would provide a couple of different resources around holidays. We did 12 days of dairy for Christmas, and this is an example of a class who actually made the one activity, which was a handprint cow ornament that they made, and there's a bunch of different cool ones on there. We did one for the end of summer as well. Other activities, we'll share things like you can make mozzarella cheese. There's online games that we'll send you links to that you can do. Again, all focusing on different parts of dairy, whether it's milk safety or animal education, animal health and wellness, personal health and wellness, whatever it may be. We'll also share other dairy lessons. We definitely do not cover all of the content that can be covered in our Discover Dairy lessons. So we want to make sure you have all the resources you can get about dairy. We are trying to be kind of that hub for you. You know, we offer our own products, but there's other great resources out there. So we'll share other dairy lessons that DMI has put out there or other checkoff programs, as well as dairy recipes that are great for you to either use at home or even in the classroom if you're able to do a cooking demonstration or a cooking activity with your students. And the list goes on and on. There's many other opportunities out there that we share with those Sunday Fun Day emails. So not only do you adopt a calf and follow that journey for about 8 months throughout their first 8 months of life, but you also get these really cool resources to just include dairy once or twice a month and create this submersive experience. These are just a couple of testimonies from some teachers that had shared with us on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, whatever it may be. So it's just fun to follow. If you're curious on what other teachers have done, I encourage you to search at Discover Dairy or hashtag Discover Dairy on any of those platforms, and you'll see a bunch of people that have shared ideas or their experiences. I think it's just fun to see how everyone takes this program differently and really uses it to how it works with their classroom. Some teachers just share those pictures and that's it. And some will do things like that one on the end where they wrote letters, they made masks and all sorts of things. And these are just some fun pictures that we had received from the Adopt a Cow program. The one teacher actually bought a stuffed cow so the class could have a stuffed cow. Fun fact, we will actually be offering something that you can purchase as part of it. It's going to be a cow and journal kit that you can actually get a stuffed cow this coming year. So they'll be part of registration. Some people like to do gender reveals, which is pretty cool. And this one in the middle, they asked the students to guess whether they thought it was going to be a boy or a girl. The teacher actually told me, she said every boy thought it was going to be a boy and every girl thought it was going to be a girl. So I thought that was kind of cute. And they guessed what name they thought it would be. Just a little spoiler alert, they're all girls. We only adopt out heifers because that's the process of actually becoming a mature cow and producing milk. But it was still cute to do a gender reveal. And of course, the class with the calf there. So just a lot of really fun, great things with Adopt a Cow that you can do in your classroom. And I can see there are some questions here, but Cassidy, I will let you go ahead and facilitate those so that way I don't miss anything if you don't mind.
So are there any differentiation strategies included in the lessons?
So differentiation strategies as in being able to offer it for different levels, I'm assuming is what you're talking about.
Different levels, possibly different learner needs.
Sure. Yeah. So
different abilities.
Yeah. So the Discover Dairy courses, those lessons, that's pretty much just by grade. There are some modifications that we suggest in there, or for example, the handing it on. So that's the 3rd through 5th grade lesson. It's kind of like the basic lesson, and then there's a higher learning opportunity that would definitely take a little bit more thought and process in your class. So there are the options to stay simple and then make it more complex. And then with the Adopt a Cow program, those lessons are very generalized at this point. We wrote them for kind of that 3rd through 6th grade level, but we do offer modifications that we say, okay, you could keep it really simple here and just share the photo or share the basic content. So I encourage you to, do what works for your class. We do offer some sort of modifications and differentiations. Plus, there are a lot of teachers that have done their own modifications and actually posted about them. So you can always kind of follow Discover Dairy and see what other people have posted or done and learn from their experiences as well. Good question.
Very nice. Thank you. We have another one. Could you tell us a little bit? I know there's some videos that are available that look more at the dairy industry and life on the farm. Could you tell us about those videos, possibly?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So there are videos on our website that are great videos, great snippets for you to use in your classroom if you'd like. So I could actually quickly just go to that and share my screen so you can see. We had, oh my goodness, this one screen thing. Okay. Let me just do. Okay. So those items for those videos would be here. So we're under the classroom enrichment, and we would scroll down here a little bit to those educational video resources, and you would just, everything's hidden for me. I apologize. I'm trying to work with one screen here. Can move things. Okay. But yeah, you would just slide through here, and these are some great videos that you can use in the classroom. This 48 hours and 48 seconds video is really great, short, simple, to the point, talks about dairy. Follow Milk's Journey. It's another great video. And yeah, so I would recommend you go here for those dairy snippet opportunities.
Very nice. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any other questions? You can go ahead and add those.
I appreciate the questions, everyone, and I hope you got something out of this. I welcome any other questions. Let me just go ahead and throw on my screen my contact information, just so that way you have it. Feel free to text me, to call me, to email me. I am always here to help with anything. So I'm just gonna share that for you so you can see it. So that's my cell phone number and my email. Feel free to reach out. So I will give you the little disclaimer here. I am kind of a one-woman show with this Discover Dairy program. We have a very small team. We have about 8 folks that work for the Center for Dairy Excellence and the Dairy Excellence Foundation. And we just, we love and live and breathe dairy. So whatever we can provide for you as a teacher, we will. We love that we can provide it to you for free. If you ever have any suggestions, or you find something that could be bettered, or you did a cool thing with one of the lessons and you said, hey, I did this with this lesson, I think it would be cool to add it. You know, we love any suggestions. This program has grown over the years and built and changed because of teachers that have done things on their own. So I welcome any suggestions that you have as you work through it, and ideas that you want to add for the benefit of everybody. You know, we're all about sharing, which is why we do those Sunday Funday emails. You know, no one program covers everything. So if we can share any and all materials for you and share it for the good of the group, then we are better as a whole for the dairy industry and as a community. So absolutely. Okay, yeah, that I see that last one. The Cassidy, yeah, I was gonna say, Cassidy, if you don't mind going ahead and typing that answer in, that would be awesome.
Dairy moments, just so we're all on the
Dairy
same page. We actually did have another question. Michelle mentioned that the website will be getting a little bit revamped. Is that going to affect these resources at all in your portion of the website?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question. So Michelle covered Dairy Leaders of Tomorrow. So Dairy Leaders of Tomorrow, I'll go ahead and stop sharing here so that way you can see me. So Dairy Leaders of Tomorrow is our high school curriculum, and it's a completely different website. So while her website is down, that will not affect Discover Dairy. We are going to be continuing to make some updates to Discover Dairy over the next couple of weeks. We have some Kahoot games and Quizlets stuff that we're adding into some of those lessons. Those are new things we're adding right now. So those will be added, but our site will not be down. DLT is going through, or Dairy Leaders of Tomorrow is going through a complete overhaul, which is much needed for that program. But yeah, Discover Dairy will be up and running all summer and all year long. So no worries there.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any more questions right now.
No problem.
I guess, do you have any closing remarks that you would like to share?
I guess the only thing that I want to share with you is, first of all, thank you for taking the time to be part of this program and engaging with the Ag Educators Institute. You are taking one step to broadening the minds of the next generation. I cannot stress enough how important it is to make sure that our students know where their food comes from. It's not a joke when we say that like more than 50% of people actually think chocolate milk comes from brown cows. It's insane, and that's a real number. And to me, that seems crazy because growing up on a dairy farm, I know the difference, but that's a very real problem. So I just want to thank you as an educator for doing what you can to teach dairy in the classroom. And if you've never done it before, I encourage you to start. It's just such an important piece. And if you don't understand dairy, that's okay. That's why Discover Dairy is here for you, because it teaches you what dairy is. We do actually have a short PowerPoint that I could share with you, Cassidy, if you wanted to share with everybody else. And it kind of just goes over the basics of some dairy knowledge. I didn't want to drone on and kind of teach you guys today on the basics of dairy, but we do have kind of a 15, 20 slide presentation that would just maybe be good for you as educators to learn about dairy, to have some background knowledge before teaching these courses if you wanted to, but you wouldn't need it to teach it. But yeah, so just thank you for taking the time to learn and engage with your students and sharing the dairy message. Our dairy farmers are the hardest working people I've ever met. If we can share their story and share it well and talk about the importance of it, then let's do it together and really help our students learn what dairy is.